really believe in Christmas. I grew up believing in Christmas and it is still part of like my family fun vibes. I'm more of a winter solstice kind of girl now. However, I really try to, when I gift people, gift things that I have made myself. So I'm going to show you how to make cute little chocolates that you can give to people, because let's face it, consumerism at this time is like off the scale. So if we can kind of make something that's with like thought and cute and all the things, it just makes it so much better. I'm going to make 2 types of chocolate today, wild orange and rose essence. So these little essential oils are food grade essential oils and they literally pimp up everything. So let's begin. So doTERRA are really amazing, and these ones are from my nan's garden, so not going to be able to get them. But like, you want to really search, like doTERRA for me are like really good, but you want to make sure they're food grade and you want to get them online basically. That's kind of where you get them. This is really cute. The story about this is amazing. My nan had 3 rose bushes that someone left outside of her door, like, I don't know, I'm going to say 40 years, 30 to 40 years ago. And one said hope, one said love, one said hope, love, I think growth or something like that. And she's nurtured these bushes, right? So the essential oils from this is from them the roses from that, which is kind of amazing. So every time I cook with this or we use it in potions, it's like the essence of these trees that my nan has like tended to over the years that were given to her as a gift of like, you know, them intentions. Pretty epic. So we're going to fill a little bit of water up, not much. We're going to turn that on low. So, cacao butter. You can make chocolates with coconut oil. The thing with coconut oil, as soon as it gets to a certain temperature, it starts to melt. So they're fine if you keep them in the fridge and then be like, here's your present, put them in the fridge and then eat straight away. Whereas cacao butter is the fat from the cacao plant. So it kind of is a lot more solidified and they're like really cute. They don't taste of anything, but they smell amazing. So some people use these in body creams and things like that. So we're going to do 1/3 of a cup. Well, actually we're going to do 2/3 in here, not in the water. So 2 of them. And you're going to wait for these to melt before you add the liquids. When you're working with cacao, the last thing that you always add is the cacao powder, because what that does is that when you use cacao powder, because it is quite, as soon as you put that in, you have to move quite quickly. This is the thing about chocolates. I'm working with like raw chocolates and things like that. So I've got a few little cute little molds. I've got some little stars, some hearts, some kind of weird moon and sun things that are kind of questionable, but I think they'd look quite cute. And you can get so adventurous with these. Oh yeah, and then just the standard chocolate. But imagine like when I'm giving someone a gift, I can like wrap it in this cute paper with a little thing and it would just be so nice, and yeah, just great. We want to put this on low and we want this to be completely melted. So why don't I believe in Christmas? It's not that I don't believe, like, but I guess the more I've like studied kind of the ancient calendars, like winter solstice makes so much more sense to me. And like there's all these theories. From winter solstice, each day then starts to get lighter again. So the light returns. So that back in the day, families would gather. They'd go to Stonehenge, or they'd gather in the communities, and we'd light fires together and we'd feast together and we would celebrate the returning of light, which makes way more sense to me than sitting on some old man's knee. And I just think it's really a beautiful thing. And every year I go to Stonehenge, I build a fire up there, I hang out with a lot of like, you know, like there's lots of people that are really into like the old pagan ways, if you want to call them that. And it's just an amazing thing to see the lights and the sun beam up, and it's like from that moment hope has returned and we've gone through the darker months. And we would feast and tell stories, and you know, and actually there is a whole theory that Christmas was actually all about that time, and then it's kind of got a little bit lost along the way. There's one theory, which I don't know if you'll believe this, and I still sometimes am like, okay, that you know the Amanita mushroom, which is like the red one with the white dots, that basically people ingested that and then they saw flying reindeers, and then like Santa became red and white because of that, and basically that is how the whole of like Santa Claus kind of happened was from people celebrating solstice, taking mushrooms, and it turned into this thing. And then America took it and it turned into this like huge capitalist thing. And like, I don't know, you can take what you want from that. I think it's good to have lots of different perspectives. But for me, if I follow nature's lead, seeing the light return and seeing every year more and more people come to Stonehenge to celebrate it, because I think it's more of a time of like connection to the land, connection to the light, sitting around fires and like having a meal. And that time was about, from that point for 12 days afterwards, it would all be about honouring the dark, but being with like friends and family. And that just makes more sense to me. And, you know, like with consumerism and everything now, it's pretty crazy, you know? Everyone's like buying all this stuff, people getting in debt. And I'm just like, that just sounds like a lot. So I follow nature's lead, which is like winter solstice, and I get so excited by it because the days are getting lighter, and what better way than celebrating that? Okay, so that's melted now. So now I'm gonna add, I'm gonna try and be precise for you guys, but it's not really how I roll. I'm really trying my best here, so I'm just gonna do like, I don't know, 2 tablespoons. Maybe I'm gonna do like, yeah, 3, just because this is agave. And you wanna add all the liquid first. Shall we go with rose or wild orange first? Let's go with wild orange. So they're quite potent, these drops, so I'd probably do like 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 4. 1 for luck. Okay, so that's great. Now I'm gonna add the same of cacao. I'm actually going to take this out now. Woo! And again, I'm going to move really quick. And we're going to do 2/3 cacao. So you can see I'm just whisking it very quickly because you just want, oh God, this fluffy stuff. It's going everywhere. But once you kind of make your own chocolate, you realise how delicious and easy it is. I mean, look at that. And what, you know when it's good chocolate, when it kind of looks like, you see that? Look at that. And you could add fillings to it. I've got some hazelnuts. Let me just try a little bit. Oh my gosh, so good. It's actually quite it's quite bitter though. I'm actually going to add a dollop more. There we go. That's probably going to taste way better now. Yeah, way better. Okay. Oh shit. Bloody hell. I'm all about keeping it real though in here, let's face it. There we go. Ooh, it's quite hard to know. Key that I'm learning in this very moment is just don't fill them up the whole way. There's something quite satisfying about filling them to the top, but it's very hard to know when to stop. And then you can put these in the fridge or freezer. You could add, like sometimes what's quite cute as well is like adding like rose petals and things like that. But I'm not going to do any of that because I'm going to do like a few ranges. They're going to be so lovely. Okay, and then you want to put them in a flat surface. I don't have a freezer, so I have to do them in, oh my God, this is the scary bit. Ah! Right, one down. Now I'm going to make these weird little things. So you kind of always use that ratio. We're going to do 1/3 of a cup and 1/3 of a cup again. Whoa. Maybe this time I'm going to do a little bit of vanilla and rose. That's quite a nice combo. And it's just really fun to kind of just play around. Like this is me when I'm in my absolute element. It's just like, yeah, just like playing around and being like, oh, I'm going to add this in and I'm going to add this in. Sometimes it works and well, most of the time it works, but sometimes it's like weird flavour. Some people like rose, some people don't. Rose is really good for the heart. Oh, there's 1, 2. There we go. There's 4 in there as well. And I'm going to make moons with that one. And it said also, around winter solstice time was a time when you'd get really creative. And the reason why back in the day they would bring all the foliage in from outside, inside to kind of create more abundance in the home. So there's all these like things that connect like Christmas and solstice all together. And I guess it's like kind of connecting with what you want, and I think like what you want to do. Like obviously I do celebrate Christmas, like I'll go and see my family or I have a meal, but for me my main celebration is winter solstice. Like I like, that's when I finish work that's where I'm like lighting candles and having food and being by the fire and storytelling and doing rituals of like, as you know, we enter the light, what seeds am I what's the word, like what seeds am I planting? And you know, people would take the fire, there'd be a Christmas log, and everyone in the village would take a little bit of that log to light their fire up at home, and it was all about community. And I think the way that Christmas is perceived now, it's like it's lost its magic, you know? It's like, I buy you a present because you brought me a present. Like, what the hell is that? I'll give you a present because I want to give you a present, not because I have to. And I think, you know, like, people getting in debt that can't afford the presents and the pressure, and it's just all got a bit too much. And whereas if I kind of focus on winter solstice, it brings it back to its roots. Fire, like lovely food, being together, storytelling, and you know, if you're into the mushroom theory, taking some amanitas and just like seeing flying reindeers. And making things and giving things to people is so nice. Okay, I'm gonna do, it's like maybe 4 tablespoons of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you could use maple syrup for this, and you could use coconut sugar. I sometimes find with coconut sugar can be a little bit grainy. I mean, even that on itself is gonna be delicious. If you don't put sweetener in, because the cacao is like bitter and this is bitter, it's like double bitter. So actually I'm going for a bit more sweetener. What I would say is keep going and trying. Was it like try before you buy? Okay, that's melted. Move that out. I'm going to put the actual measurements in the bottom just because, I don't know, sometimes it's just easier, isn't it? And you can get such cool little moulds as well. I was saying but I used to have like vagina moulds, which was really fun. You could also like add a little bit in, put it in the fridge, add some almond butter, take it out, so you kind of get like almond butter centres. Very delicious. This is so good. So this is vanilla, rose, chocolate, agave. Maybe I could add a bit of salt in here. Okay, I'm gonna be better this time. And that's the thing about cooking, right? You just gotta give it a go, otherwise you never, look, did it go over? You've got to just give it a go. Like, what is it? Try, like, fail. There's no such thing as failure. It's just learning. It's my new trick. Smooth. Oh. Obviously, if you had a bigger fridge in a house, it'd be way easier. Or maybe that's just me totally, like, fucking lying. Oh my God. That was actually genius. Well proud of myself. So what's in here is vanilla, sweetener. I'm gonna put some ginger powder in, just for a little bit of a, it's like so much fun. You can just get so creative. Cacao. This is the same measurements I'm doing on all of them, by the way. And this one's going to have hazelnuts crushed into it and salt. Put some salt, like a good pinch of salt. Bit for the spirits. Because the thing is, if you wait too long when you're working with like kind of chocolates, this will start to solidify, so you need to move quickly. And also when you start making your own chocolates, you start looking, I'm a bit of a chocolate snob if I'm being honest, because if you look at a lot of ingredients in chocolate, it's actually disgusting what goes in there. Like, obviously being plant-based, I always go for plant-based. Let's just try that. Wow, it is salty. Okay, then I'm gonna add some nuts in. So these were roasted hazelnuts, by the way. Oh my God, these are gonna be banging. Have you noticed I'm such a hype myself up with food? I'm like, this is going to be amazing. No, but they are. I just get so excited. Imagine if you can get this excited about making your own chocolate. Imagine more excited when like life happens. Oh yeah. 3 types of chocolate. I'm just so impressed with myself. And also, whoever I give it to is going to be super impressed too. Nothing better than eating chocolate that's just like made with love. Absolute game changer. So I reckon we will leave that. If you put it in the freezer, it only needs an hour. If you put it in the fridge, I'd probably say about 5 or 6 hours, dependent. But you want to make sure they're really cold before you start packaging them and stuff like that. You could put a cute little note saying happy solstice. Okay, a little bit easier taking them out than putting them in. So look how cute these are. Hello. Should I try it? It's amazing. Dun, 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 dun. Oh. Oh, look. It's so cute. I actually don't want to bite it because I don't want to save it because it's just so cute. Imagine you got to give them one of these for winter solstice. It'd be like the moon and the sun and we're going into the light and here's a chocolate that represents it all. So this one is rose, vanilla and ginger. No, rose and vanilla this one is. And then this one is the hazelnut crunch with extra salt. Oh my God, that is ridiculous. It's like so salty with like ginger and like hazelnuts and basically I'm gonna start a chocolate company. No, I'm joking. So get experimental, get witchy and enjoy winter solstice.